Monmouth College Fighting Scott football head coach Chad Braun. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good, Shawn.
Got to be doing really well. What a great ball game the other day.
Yeah, I thought just different vibe at home. Obviously, you get the home crowd behind you. I thought we had a great showing from our fan base out there this weekend, and our guys are ready to go from the get-go, from whistle one. They were ready to play, and we had a great energy about us, and I thought our guys just really came out and executed at a really, really high level.
The fans were excited because they're not going to see the home field for like a month now.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I was looking at that too. I was like, holy smokes, man. Go on the road this week, got the bye week, and then on the road again right after the bye week. So the good news is we're going to finish the season with a bunch of games at home. So
yeah, and that's actually good. I suppose to finish at home rather than start at home. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know who you're playing.
Yeah, for sure. I always say, I love doing an overnight early in the year. It just seems to really bond your team together. This will be our first, real true road overnight. So. Even though Wartburg felt like an overnight, but this will be our first time guys staying in a hotel together, doing all that, and it just really seems to bond your football team together.
Big, and you said it, you got off the bus at home, and just took it to them right out of the gate. 10-0 lead after the first quarter, shut them out in the second quarter, 21-0. Just from start to finish, a good ball game in a very important ball game.
Yeah, very much so. A team that, like I said, the last 3 years, I think it's come down to the last drive with them. And, this year, I talked to our guys, at the beginning of the game about making a statement to the conference. And, they heeded that advice, and they were ready to go right out of the gate. And, McCade Brooks had an outstanding run to get us really going there. It was really – we didn't block it up very well. He just broke a couple tackles, and then you can see when he gets in the open field, he's got the jets to outran the corner on that one, and then hit some big plays on offense. The big play to Nick Opsaint, in the first half there really got us rolling, and then and then second half we really played well.
Pass for 271, rush for 160. Are you kind of liking the balance here early on?
Yeah. We always want to be a physical football team and impose our will, run on the ball. That just has to be your mentality. And then we have so many weapons at receiver. We got so many guys that can hurt you in the pass game, and obviously a fifth-year quarterback that has a ton of experience, and he's playing at a super high level. Those two balls that he threw, the one to Nick, rolling out to his right and throws it off his back foot, and it's right on the money, and then the one to Jackson hits him in stride. Just unbelievable throws that he's making right now.
A lot of Jackson Bergen early on. Was that designed, or was he just open, or did you like the matchup?
Well, obviously coming off last week, right? They're going to try and take away.
Yes.
They're going to take away Thornton, and so you have to take what the defense is going to give you. We got to make teams pay that are going to try and double Nate, and so the other guys got to make him pay. So we, and I thought Nate, played a great ball game. We were really close to hitting him on some big ones, and got the pass interference on the one, and then he almost made the great catch in the end zone there, and made a heck of a catch on a dig, a ball that I really thought was going to be intercepted, and he kind of took it away from the defenders. So, we got a lot of weapons, on offense across the board. Running the ball good with both our running backs are running really well, and our quarterback operating the way he is. It's a lot of fun to watch our offense right now.
Yeah, it looks like McCade's getting pretty darn comfortable with that lead back role.
Absolutely, yeah, he's really good. And then, Rublick's come in and done a heck of a job for us too, So, we're creating a real good, package duo with those guys back there. And then, we got some good young running backs coming up too.
Yeah, Brent and I was doing the game on Saturday, and we've seen Rublick last couple of weeks, but a good dose of Rublick this past Saturday. And I told Brent, I was like, I was talking to Coach Braun before the very first game of the season. He just had this look on his eye, like we got some pretty good freshmen that you're going to see.
Yeah, for sure. We got a stable of running backs. It's hard to keep them all happy right now. Hopefully we can, because if we keep them for the future, we're going to be really, really good at that position. But real happy with the production we're getting out of, McCade and Rublick right now.
Tevin Baker.
Yeah, unbelievable game, and, I just saw a different vibe from him this week in practice. Like, he practiced angry this week, and Tevin's kind of a guy that keeps everything in. He's not a real vocal guy. But I just saw, like, in practice, I'm like, man, he is like a different guy this week. And then, holy cow, did it show up on Saturday. I mean, he was unreal. He was unblockable in the run game and the pass game. I mean, he was terrific.
Well, we talked on the air and off, and Brent and I talked on the air and off, that there was a chip on the defense's shoulder coming into this week, and boy, did that chip show on Saturday.
Yeah, 29 rushes for 50 yards. Like, we had a mindset, and we have a lot of pride on the defensive side of the ball, both sides of the ball, and special teams everywhere. But we know that was not us a week ago, giving up, the amount of yards we gave up. So we wanted to make, come out and make a statement that, we got a very capable defense of stopping the run. We've done it all camp. We just had one bad game. We learned from that game, and we got to keep getting better now. 16
penalties for Chicago. Had a little extracurricular stuff going on, and once again, your guys stayed out of it, which we could track for several years. I mean, Monmouth College has put some beatings on some teams through the years, and it gets the games a little chippy. We always stay out of it.
Well, I would have liked to stay out of it a little bit more. We picked up two that I wasn't real happy about. So. Two very uncharacteristics. One by I won't mention their name, but they're both offensive linemen on special teams doing it. So, I was a little disappointed with that, but I thought we did a good job handling it. It seems like that Chicago game's always kind of chippy because it's been so competitive here. So, I thought we did, for the most part, did a really good job keeping our composure and just playing ball. And that's what we talk about. Let our pads do the talking. Don't let our mouths do the talking.
Lawrence University heading up to Appleton. They've only played one game. They play during the bye week and don't play opening week, which I just noticed last week when I was doing some game prep for your game against the University of Chicago. Coming off a loss to Cornell 31-7. That 7 points was scored late. 0-10 in 2022. We've got a long winning streak against Lawrence. Coming off after the University of Chicago win, I mean, you got to keep the guys going, right?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to talk about this today when we meet with our guys, but, you have to handle success and failure the same way, right? Like last week, we learned from our failure against Wartburg, and we made adjustments and we got better, right? Well, now how do you handle success, right? You got to handle it the same way. There's mistakes we made against Chicago that we got to clean up and we got to get better. And, it's not about our opponent, Lawrence. We have great respect for them, their coach, their coaching staff. For us, it's about we got to get better this week, and because we're not where we want to be. We want to keep getting better. So there'll be things on film that we saw against Chicago that we got to clean up, and it's got to be better this week. So, so we want to go up and play a really good ball game up in Appleton.
Well, a lot of good out of Saturday. What needs to get a little better?
Yeah, I thought, we hit the big play, and that was great. But I didn't think we sustained drives really, really well. I thought, there were times where we were pretty stagnant on offense and just didn't finish drives. We were 3 and out, or we get one first down and then we're out. We got to be better at being able to move the ball consistently on offense and not just rely on the big play because, there's going to be games where we don't hit the big play. So, defensively, there'll be some things that we saw in the run game. We had some guys get reached up front. That was an issue against Wartburg a week ago, and we got to clean some of that up, some of our run fits. And then, we gave up, some passing yards. Now I thought Jeremiah Glenn Lewis Charles was unbelievable in the pass game for us at middle linebacker. He probably could have had, at least 2 interceptions and – but he made a couple big plays on 3rd and short, knocking down some balls. So there'll be things that we got to clean up. When we're singled up on the single receiver, we gave up some digs and slants and things like that. Some things technically we got to get fixed. So there's always things to work at. You go back and watch the film. Our kickoff team's got to be a little better. Thought we gave them too good a field position. I didn't think Cody kicked off tremendous, so – those are all things that we'll work on and get cleaned up this week.
And heading into the bye week, so it's a balance of Lawrence is struggling. If you do, knock on wood, get a nice little cushion there. I mean, it's a balance between, gosh, we got a bye week coming up too. I'd kind of like to stay sharp. That's going to be a tricky dance.
Yeah, for sure. I used to hate the bye week, just because you felt like you have momentum and then you lose that momentum. The older I've got, probably the more veteran I've got as a coach. I've learned to
Wiser.
Yeah, wiser, I guess. Yeah, I've learned to appreciate the bye week. Where I used to think, oh man, you got to keep guys sharp. You got to keep them sharp. Really, we'll come in, we'll get a couple days of work, and then we'll let the guys get refreshed. I think it's more about getting them refreshed and ready to go for the second half of the season more than anything. It's just a mental break for the guys. And so I've really come to enjoy the bye week. I think it's good for myself, it's good for our staff. It's good for our players. So I'm not worried about us being sharp. We got to come out and focus on us this week and getting better. And then, we'll do the same thing next week going in the bye. And then we'll get our guys refreshed and ready to go.
All right, Coach. That. We'll talk to you next Monday, hopefully after a win over the Vikings.
Appreciate it, Shawn.
Head coach of the Monmouth College Fighting Scots football program, Mr. Chad Braun, here on our Monmouth McDonald's Coach's Corner.